Hello and welcome to Nanapod, a podcast dedicated to the fantastic manga written by A. Yazawa. I'm Crystal, and I'm joined by my best girl Kirsten as we dissect this manga, discussing everything from the emotions, the cultural impact, as well as any headcanons that might be floating around in our brains. With this podcast, we hope to preserve a shoujo staple that sadly hasn't been talked about in a very long time. So come with us. We're waiting for you in apartment 707.
Yeah, chapter 27.
Yeah.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can start. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any hot takes before we start?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I mean, there's just like things that happen in here that I'm like, oh, this is messy. This is so messy.
It is messy. And it's because it's real.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I was really thinking about that this last week in regard to how people criticize the characters. And I'm like, haven't you had a friend like each of these people who have made these stupid choices?
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
So, I don't know. It starts out with a picture of Reira. Most trap nest. It's trap nest, but it's like focused in on Reira holding Takumi's hand. And it says trap nest means the trapped den. Once we enter it, we can't go out by our own means. I thought that the name could only come from a man who loved having power over others.
Mm.
And then it goes into a text message or email or whatever. And it's August 31st. Is it August 31st in yours?
Yes. we gotta check it.
It's from Nana, and it's titled Hachiko is Sick. I won't see you for some time. Anyways, starting from tomorrow, you're locked in the studio to record. Come on, courage. And then it's Ren, and he's like, kind of like, I wouldn't say he's asleep, but his eyes are closed, leaning against his car window.
He's resting.
He's resting. And it says, how does this gate open? Hanjo-san, I'm sorry. We've arrived at your place, but... And he goes, oh, you have to insert the key. The key? Yes, the electronic key. You have to put it in that thing there. It's so annoying. And so he pulls out the key. And he's like, but tell me, Kinoshita, how will you get home? And he's like, oh, I'll find a way. It's too late for the last train, right? And he's like, I'll find a taxi. And Ren's like, do you want to use my card to go home? And he's like, what? Are you sure? And so he gets out of the car, closes the door, and with a big bam, like he slams the door in his Shelby GT Mustang, blah, 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 with the stripies. And he says, if you come to get me with it tomorrow, I'll be glad. No problem. If you want, I'll act as your driver every day with a car from the disc company. Seeing the crazy schedule that you have, it'd be too dangerous to move around with your own car. What? His own car? Oh, so like it's too noticeable.
Yeah, because that thing's a classic.
I mean, well, it's American more so than that.
Yeah.
It's
American.
Right. And he's like, if you ever have an accident and that this car could be destroyed, you worry more for my car than me, says Ren. It's still a Mustang Shelby 1965. It's too classy. His eyes, he's like crying and there's little stars. He's like freaking out about it. And Ren is like, to me, the important was to have a car that works. But Takumi went to get me this purposely. And then he's like, I agree that you're rich and talented, but not greedy. Saying that it's a matter of image is blah, blah. And Ren is like, the guy is like, even the songs you compose them as Takumi-san tells you to. From my point of view, it's when you play punk music that you display all your talent. The album tribute to the Sex Pistols, well, it says to the Pistols, was excellent. And Ren's like, as long as I can play guitar, everything suits me. And little dude is like, well, I'd like to hear Ren Hanjo's cry of the soul, or rather, I'd like to listen to it. And now Ren is laughing at him hysterically. He's like, my soul's cry. And then he's like, but, well, Takumi-san's orders don't concern the band members only. It stays between us, but everyone says that we're Takumi's little soldiers. Ren's like, everyone who? And he says, oh, but Takumi has so many conspiracies. He's really a resolute man. Even though he talks about big projects, he has the means to realize them. I respect him. And so Ren says, then you'll tell everyone that those who don't approve of Takumi's way of working can go see elsewhere. We don't need soldiers who don't want to fight by our side. And he drops his cigarette. And he looks super scary.
Yeah, I'm like, look how cool he looks in that shot.
But he's like, don't talk shit about Takumi. That's essentially what that was. Is like, dude's trying to talk shit about Takumi. And he's like, don't talk shit about Takumi.
Pretty much. It's like, nah.
And like, yeah, Takumi's bossy and he has a vision, but he does bust his ass for that vision.
True.
And like, it's like, I feel like Takumi, since he is the leader of the band, like even above like management, everything, everybody who's paid based on what they do relies on like that part of Takumi.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, don't talk shit about Takumi. He busts his ass.
At least not in this regard.
No. Like there are other things to talk shit about Takumi about. Trust me. We know. Let's count the ways.
Let's get war poodle ways.
The war poodle ways. We'll count the war poodle ways. Well, the war poodle though is one of his like qualities that makes this like this is where that's a positive thing.
True. That's very true.
Cuz like he'll really like break himself working for success. For everyone to have success.
Yes.
Not just him.
Nope. He's all It's the band. It's all about the band.
It's all about the band. It's all about the band. It's always been all about the band for him. Well, it's always been all about Reiwa's voice for the band for him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's important to remember too.
Yeah.
But we have a scene change.
We do. And there's another email text message. And it just says R, and this is the same day. And it says, the paparazzi suck. I'm hiding out as usual. Same room, same hotel. Come over if you want. Heart. And it's Rira. And she says, I can't think of what to write. I have to write a tearjerker power ballad. And Shin is lying on the bed, and he says, I can't help you with that. And then there's like a puff as he like breathes out his cigarette smoke, and Rira looks like, oh, but
his shoes on the bed.
Shoes on the. I know. I'm like, Shin, please take.
And
your
his
shoes
one
off.
foot looks really tiny. Just saying.
Is it the one that's like crossed over his?
Yeah, the one that's floating in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks tiny.
Tiny feet.
Mm-hmm.
A little Cinderella feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rira's all like shocked, and she's like got crumpled paper in her hands, and there's like lightning behind her, and she's like, why do I always have to write stupid love songs? Why are they what sells? Why are Japanese people so into love songs? Why can't I write about world peace or something? Not that I know much about it, but still, what am I going to do? Arg, we started recording tomorrow. And Shin's like, today actually. And we have the clock. And I
It's 2001 August, and then I think it's like midnight 17.
Is it 17? Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like it just clicked over to
17 minutes after
Sep-
midnight.
yeah, so it's now September 1st instead of the 31st. Because that's how late they are staying up. And now she's shocked and she's got all these little squiggles around her head. And she's like, all right, Shin, why are you being so mean today? And he's reading, I think it's the room service book. And he's like, am I? Maybe I got tired of being a good boy. And she says, a good boy? When are you good? And Shin says, this whole month I haven't missed a single practice. I didn't smoke in the non-smoking studio, and I've been changing my sound like our A&R guy told us, but it's a total bore. And Rira says, what? You can't smoke at Gaia? Usually you can smoke even in a recording studio. Why would musicians use studios like that? Ren and Takumi would freak out. Shin says, it's a technical studio. There's a technical school next door, and their students use the studio. They rent it out to the public too. And Rira's like, wow, they have a school? That's so Gaia. If you get good grades, will they let you be on their label? And Shin says, I don't know. I don't care. Honestly, I don't really care about being on a major label. All I wanted to do was play in a band and have fun. And Reva looks kind of sad, a little like, oh. And then she like pulls no, she throws everything away. Because she had like headphones in her hand and like a cassette tape and a pencil and paper, and she just throws them on the ground. And she's like, you're right. Being in a band is supposed to be fun. Let's go out, dance like crazy all night, and forget our problems. And Shun looks up at her with a sweat drop, and he's like, what are you saying? Rira, this is your job. You get paid to make music, so you have to take it seriously. And he plunks her down back to the table where she kind of was before, and he's like, here, concentrate. He puts like all of her stuff on the table, and he's like, release your frustration by writing what you're thinking. And Rira's like, good idea. What should I write about killing mosquitoes? I'll hit you hard with DDT.
What?
I don't know what that means.
In mine, it's the paparazzi's hunt. I'll write a song about the paparazzi's hunt. I'm the mosquito hunter.
I mean, she could do it. Britney Spears did it in the past. Like,
I mean, yeah, you can make anything sound like it's tragic, and like if it's vague enough, anybody can relate it to love.
this is very true. Shin just says, is that your power ballad? And she's got the dot dot dots, and then she puts the headphones back in her ear, and she's listening to, I think, what Ren recorded, because she's got to write lyrics. And Shin goes back to the couch to get the room service book, and he's like, are you as hungry as I am? Can I call some room service? Is it cool if I call? Heart. And now she's just kind of singing over there, and Shin looks up at her, and while she's over there singing, Shin is thinking about what Yasu said when he said Rira was in love with Takumi. And then he's got sad eyes. And now he was so sad. And now Rira's crying. And Shin still looking sad. And she takes the earbud out and she's like, what a beautiful song. And Shin puts his cigarette out. And Rira says, Ren's such a genius. And then she's really crying now. Not like freak out crying, but just crying.
Weeping.
Weeping, yes.
Weeping.
Better word. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say she's silently weeping.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I know I'll just ruin it with my stupid lyrics. And Shin has come over to her and he's taken her hand and he says, that's not true. If you can cry like this, I'm sure you can write meaningful lyrics. Rira, girls love trapness because they can relate to the lyrics and the way you sing them. I know she's got like tiny little tears and she's like, "You're pretty good with the flattery." And he says, "It's my job. It's how I make the big bucks." And she smiles and he looks up at her and he looks very good in that shot. So
He's
sweet,
so
so,
cute.
so adorable. And he's like, "I'm serious." And then there's just a shot of him like, I think leaning in to kiss her, but we don't actually get to see the kiss.
I think they're kissing. Yep, I think
Yeah.
they're kissing.
And then there's this scene change here.
And there's an actual email, not a text message email, but an email. And it's from Naoki. And it is Friday, August 31st, 2001, to Yasu. Subject, see you tonight at your place. And then it says, starting tomorrow, I'll be locked in the studio for the recording of our single. Let's take advantage of tonight and have a drink. Poor little Naoki. I
know.
heard this theory that Naoki is actually the demon lord.
What?
And I mean, he has the least amount of problems. He's probably the most emotionally mature out of all of them.
Even though he talks all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he also really pays attention.
Yes, he does.
He really pays attention to everything that's going on, and he doesn't have a huge role.
Mm-mm.
So, like, I don't know. I think it could check out.
I mean, maybe. Kind of ruins our whole Takumi's the demon lord.
Well, like, I don't really think that Takumi's the demon lord.
But it's such a hilarious headcanon.
I mean, it's one of the headcanons, sure. I do think that the demon lord is, like, egregoric and, like, not a person.
Right, right.
But I mean, like, I could actually get behind Naoki being the demon lord because, like, nobody pays attention to him, which means he knows all the secrets. Most of the time, they don't even know he's there.
That's true. They just ignore him. Okay. Oh,
Right?
and we kept forgetting his name.
I know. This is what I mean, though.
Oh no, he's like Jedi mind tricking you, like
Yep.
not even here.
Yep. So it's Yasu, and he's holding up a drink, and he's like, "Aren't there girls with whom you could talk?" And Naoki's like, "If I do that, I'll cause a scandal."
Oh.
And Yasu's like, "You're too conscious? Hold on.
Is it conscientious?
Yeah, conscientious. Yeah, I still have sleep eyes. You're too conscientious. Look at Ren and even Takumi. They do whatever they want and everything's going well. Yet they're in the same situation as yours. Naoki's like, "No, it's not going well. I heard that your band's singer is staying at Ren's when we all have Papa Rocchio stuck. Why can't they just say paparazzi?"
It's because Naoki keeps saying it wrong. He keeps
I
saying so like
know, because it's not a Japanese word.
no, apparently it's pickled onions though. That's
Pickled
like
onions,
yeah, pickled
um,
onions.
stuck to your asses. Am I right? So the paparazzi are stuck to their asses. And he's like, "You should tell him to be careful." And Yasu's like, "What? Just what?
Right? Like
What?
wait, what?
Paparacchio? Well, paparazzi. Seriously." And he's like, yeah. We're all targeted, but I'm the only one to pay attention to what I do. Well, Rira is being taken care of by the disc company and is staying in a hotel in a suite. Do you realize such luck? And Yasu just has like all the dots. I'm sure that Takumi has gone to see Hachiko tonight because he was thinking about it all day when he left without a word. And then Yasu says, what? Hachiko? But like, so this is the first that Yasu is hearing about Hachi not being with Nobu.
Right.
Right. And so Naoki's like, I'm talking about Nana. I've never met her, but I've heard a lot about her. That girl's impressive. So much. He's such an underrated character. And so then he's like, for example, she calls Takumi all of a sudden, saying that she wants to see him when she rejects his number. She's really strategic. And what's more, she's a good cook. Without necessarily being like Takumi, any guy would fall for her. It's really scary. Yasu's like, Naoki, I don't think you know everything. Normally those two shouldn't be together anymore. Naoki's like, but of course, I don't think they'd break up. Takumi won't let go of a girl he likes that easily. And he doesn't even realize that Hachiko's the one to control him. He's so stupid. This is what I mean, though. Like, his perspective on everything. And I'm just like, you pay attention.
It's true. But he also said he hasn't met Hachi, so it's like he's still missing a puzzle piece, but it's fine.
I mean, he's missing a lot, but like, I don't know. But like, the way that he's analyzing how Takumi is handling it and the way he's like, Hachiko's in control, not Takumi, which I mean, she kind of is.
This is true. Yes.
And he's the only one to like say it.
Mm-hmm. And also the fact that he's like, Takumi's dumb. Because
right, Takumi's an idiot.
like he's so stupid. Like
right. And
my
so
goodness.
yeah, it's just like and so we have a scene change. There's a little flashback. And it's Hachi and Nobu, and it says, you must only come to see me once you'll have turned the page. But it's because it's done that I came. And that's about like Takumi and Hachi.
Yeah, and like Yasu had like really worried face.
Yeah, because he didn't realize Yasu doesn't know what's going on.
Mm-mm. So
Like,
confused.
like he knows that like Hachi and Nobu now are together.
Mm-hmm.
Takumi's supposed to be out of the picture. That's all he knows.
Nobody knows that all Hachi said was goodbye.
I know, like angrily and hung up the phone. Like, not a breakup.
No.
Not a breakup. That's not a breakup.
No. In her head it was, though.
Her head is its own special magical little place. Which is why I ship her and Nobu, because Nobu also has a magical little headspace. Now, I do ship Takumi and Hachi later, but not now.
Yeah. Oh, so the episode you sent me with the what was it? The otaku anime podcast. So I listened to the rest of it, and I kind of like how that one guy's got the really deep voice. He's like, I prefer Hachi and Takumi together. And I was like, hey,
no, but it's a later thing. It's a later thing, but they actually know the whole story.
This is true. But like, I was kind of, I've always kind of been like, no, they kind of
I like them
work.
later, but I don't like them now.
That's fine.
But it's because I don't like Takumi right now.
That's fine.
And I don't like Takumi for some time.
I mean, that's also fair. I just thought it was interesting that he was like the only one who said it, because everyone else was like, nah, fuck that, man. And I'm over here like, going, oh.
I do agree that like they complement each other's like weird fucking insecurities. Like their abuse complements each other's abuse.
Yep.
You know, their freakouts and their insecurities, like they make sense in that regard.
Yes.
And they do help each other within those insecurities. Like they kind of fill those needs for each other, but not until later.
Yeah. No, I agree. just thought it was interesting that he was the only one. But then again, I think the other girl that was on the podcast, I don't think she hadn't read Nana.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that the dude knew the whole thing and was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
yeah.
Like
And
he
that's very
knew.
authentic. So it was also really nice to hear a perspective not from a girl or a
Oh, yeah,
woman.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I was surprised by that, like pleasantly, like in a nice way. I was like, "Oh, oh,
Right. Because like
okay."
the only other dude that I know is Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
That's like read the whole thing and is like invested and loves it.
True. I mean, and I try to get my Nate into it, but he loves me so much, but he's like, "Honey," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I just don't give a shit about this drama," and I'm like, "Okay, that's fine."
Well, I mean, like, I think it's also a matter of the storytelling. And like Nathan's also read all of Ayazawa's works.
Yeah, it's fine. I
Like
mean,
he's a fan of Ayazawa. Like that's
that's
just it.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super great. But yeah, it's it was nice. So, but I did think that that was interesting because, the other podcaster was like, "Oh, interesting," and then the girl was like, "Really? No, fuck that." And he's like, "No, I do. I think they go well together." And I was like, "I'm on his side."
I do think that later. I don't think that now.
It's fair.
And
I
like
guess
I'm
we'll
I'm
get there.
trying to keep my opinions on this as we go through it. Like not within like my ending opinions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying, but I have a tendency to veer. So
Right. Yeah, like as it stands right now, Takumi's being a fucking piece of shit.
yeah, that's why I said like this part's like messy and I don't like it because yeah, rereading it, I was like, I am very upset with you right
And
now.
like some shit that he does like right after this, like it makes me even more upset.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's mm,
mhm.
yeah. Like
Yep.
especially like right here, he's gonna be,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like this is just such an abusive way to do it.
it's not okay. It's
And
just not.
like, yeah, 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 that's it. It's abusive what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not cool.
No.
But
So is Takumi?
mhm.
Yeah, and he's on, remember he's got Hachiko's phone and he's talking to Nobu and he's like, "Why aren't you saying anything?" And Nobu, poor Nobu is still like
Feels like a
standing
deer in the
there.
headlights.
Yeah, yeah, he's like he's gone full froze, like completely shell-shocked face. And Hachi's still outside the door, and then Takumi, oh god, dramatically, is like yelling into the phone. He's like, "Say something. Are you going to step up or just walk away from everything? That baby's growing even as we speak." And Hachi's crying. So, drink your water, kids. And Nobu still just not responding, not doing anything. And poor Nana, she's like, "What happened?" And she takes the phone out of Nobu's hand, which I imagine was very easy to do. And she's like, "Hello, Hachiko." And Takumi's got like the little angry like thing on his head, but he's like, "Oh, Nana, you're there too." And then Hachiko on the other side of the door looks up and she looks like freaking devastated.
Mhm.
And Nana's like, "Takumi?" And then Takumi's like, "How convenient. I have to talk to you too. Come over now and bring Nobu with you. We can't do this over the phone." And she's like, "Come over where? Why are you calling from Hachiko's cell phone?" And Takumi says, "I'm just borrowing it. I'm over at your place." And she says, "What are you doing over at my place? You stay away from Hachi. She's going out with Nobu now." And Takumi says, "I know, but she was my girlfriend first." And Nana looks just stunned for a second before she's like, "Where's Hachi?" He's like, "She's here." And she's like, "Put her on the phone. I'm not talking to you." So he unlocks the door and he opens up, and Hachi is just, her head is all
She's
the way down.
crumpled.
Yeah, she's so like defeated, just so done. Very, very, yeah, crumpled. And Takumi looks down at her, looking like a stupid thirst trap again. And he's like, Nana, Nana wants to talk to you. And he tries to put the phone in her hand, but she just drops
It
it.
just, yeah, it doesn't, it just like falls out of her hand.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't
She's,
even grasp it.
no, she's upset. And then it's like a plunk, a loud plunk. So Takumi picks it up again and he says, I don't think she can talk right now. And Nana screams, what did you do to her? And he says, I didn't do anything. And she says, we're coming over right now. We're not very far away. And Takumi, oh boy, he's like, oh, then can you pick up some grapefruit and seltzer water? By the way, can you run some fucking errands? And Nana she pauses and then she's like, what? And he says, I'm going to make her drink some freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. Her morning sickness is really bad. She's having a hard time. Thanks. Click as he hangs up. I'm sorry, that was the part that got me. I was just like, dude, they're not your errand boys, but okay.
Honestly though, like if it wasn't such a radical situation and they were on their way and near a store, I would ask them to pick it up too, rather than him leaving to go get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
Since they're already out.
I know. It's just the cavalier way he's doing it. Where
Well,
he's
that's just him.
I know. And that's why I'm like, you know. Oh, this man.
But
But,
now Nana's like putting the pieces together.
yep. Wide eyes. Wide eyes. And she's still holding the phone, and she's like, morning sickness? And she's thinking about Hatchi earlier at the restaurant. Grapefruit juice, please, says Hatchi. I'm all right. The doctor told me so. I don't know. Maternal instinct. And she rounds on Nobu. And she's like, Nobu, did you use condoms when you had sex with Hachiko?
Did you use a Johnny?
Oh no, not the Johnny again.
So did she say.
Right.
Say.
That's true. Oh, I thought that's what your translation said.
No, I wish it's what it should say. I'm just correcting it.
Did you use a Johnny? And now, Nobu finally sort of snaps out of it, kinda, because he looks over at her and she grabs him by the shirt and she's like, answer me. And Nobu's like, yeah, I did. And she's like, every time? And he says, yeah. And she said, before you stuck it in? And he says, yes. And she says, you're lying. You must have done it for a second without a condom.
Mine doesn't say that. Mine says since the beginning.
Since the beginning. Oh, bluntness.
Right?
Before you stuck it in.
Just very literal.
Yeah. She's like, you're lying. You must have done it for a second without a condom. And Nobu says, no, I didn't. And she shoves him to the ground and she says, why are you so serious and honest? And Nobu just looks up at her, just stunned. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's looking down at him, horrified. And he's like, what's wrong with being serious? I don't have the money to support a baby. Of course I wear condoms. And Nana's beginning to cry. And she now kind of collapses to the ground next to Nobu. And she's like, so it's Takumi's baby? And Nobu shouts, don't you cry. I'm the one who should be crying. And she says, if it's not your baby, if it's not your baby, say so. Then Hatchi won't have it. And Nobu says, I don't want to say something that sounds like I'm running away. I slept with her, so it's possible it's my baby too. But I'm sure that Hatchi knows it's Takumi's baby. That's why she told Takumi. Otherwise, she wouldn't see him. There's no other reason why. And Nana's replaying the words, she was my girlfriend first. And she's thinking, what should we do? What should we, dot, dot, dot. And she has the memory of, Takumi coming over to their place that first time when, Hachi was like in his arms and crying. And then she says to Nobu, she's like, you can become the father. And he just looks up at her and he's like, what do you mean? You say it like it'd be easy. And she says, we can get the money. We'll be on a major label soon. Takumi won't take responsibility for an accident. And Nobu says, but he said he would, even if it's mine. And Nana's like angry, like very upset, very angry eyes. And she's like, that's just a ploy to control Hachi. He's going to use the baby to make her his. And Nobu screams back at her, and you're thinking the same thing. And Nana stops, big wide eyes. And he says, you want to make her yours through me, right? Give me a break. What's wrong with you? If you're going to force your point, you become the father. But I don't think you'd be able to love Takumi's child. And then Nana stands up. Her eyes are still very big. And she says, or she's thinking rather, I can't believe it. No, don't have that baby. And there's a scene change.
Something that bothers me through this whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that where's Hachi's choice?
Nobody's
giving Hachi a choice. Nobody's asking Hachi if she even wants the fucking baby.
That's true.
Nobody's supporting her, and like they're all like urgently trying to decide things for her when it's not like it has to happen this minute. Blows my mind. So yeah, there's a scene change and it's Takumi and he looks like kind of like sad and pensive. And he's like sitting in the door frame and she's on the floor still. And he says, they're really slow. Maybe they can't find grapefruit. And then it's dot, 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 dots.
I like how that's the problem. It's the grapefruit problem.
Well, see, like, here's the thing, though, is Takumi is showing, like, love and care, even through, like, wanting grapefruit.
That is true.
It's to help her sickness. I know I shouldn't be defending him, but like that's just
no, it's fine. I just think it's funny that he's just like, man, they're taking forever. It's got to be the grapefruit. I'm like, not the fact that you sprung a baby on these people,
right? Not the fact that you just like screamed at a dude out of nowhere for something he knows nothing about. That's like a big deal,
right?
About a love triangle that he's involved in,
right?
And so then he reaches over to Hachi to pick her up, and he's like, "Don't worry like that. For now, just stay in bed. You can't have a miscarriage." Bitch, what if she wants a miscarriage?
Right? Like, excuse
And you really think that her like standing or not sitting in a bed, it's the stress that would do it, not her like sitting on the floor.
Oh no. How do women's wombs work? I have no idea.
Let's count the ways. So then he's like, "Have you gained weight?" What? No, it's called dead weight.
Right? I'm like, she's full of crumpled.
She's a limp goddamn noodle.
Right? She's a wax doll, dude.
If anything, she's probably lost weight because she's been throwing up so much and not eating.
Yep.
And so he's like, "I thought women lost weight in the beginning of a pregnancy. You ate too much before I came? Question mark. Shut up, Takumi."
No, Takumi.
And he's like, "My older sister had violent nausea too. It was when I was in the first grade. She was 20, but got married because of the kid. Her husband is a serious office employee. He's a much more honest guy than me, but he annoyed me and I destroyed him."
Oh.
With punches. With punches. What? In the first grade? Excuse me?
I think did we decide that that's like, because in mine it says 11th grade, so I'm like, so your freshman year of high school?
Oh yeah. Wait, 11th grade though? Because that's not it either. But like, I didn't think his sister was that much older than him, but I would say like first year high school, which would be freshman, not 11. Not grade 11.
Yeah, that's farther. That's much farther in.
I thought his sister was older than him, but not that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not 2 years older than him or 3. I thought she was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Discrepancy in ages. Takumi's like, I don't actually know how old my sister is.
I just imagine this little 7-year-old destroying this dude. Oh no.
You kick,
But
kick.
he annoyed me and I destroyed him with punches. And he's like, my sister cried. And he's like looking down thoughtfully while like tucking her in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Reba made fun of me, saying that I was jealous of him. I really regretted it. And he like looked at her, and now he like has his hand like on his temple. He's like leaning on the mattress
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of looking at her sweetly. I mean, it's really weird. And he's like, but by the way, you're 22. 20 as in 20 also. Yeah.
Right, 20
Um,
also.
yeah, 20 also. For a girl of this age, you really don't know what you want. He's right though.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
He's
have a stable job. When you feel lonely, you sleep with the first guy you see, and now you get pregnant. There's nothing to do. It'll make your parents cry. You know that. And now she's crying. And he's like, well, I'm in the wrong place to tell you that. Sorry, Dad. And he like holds her hand and she's like smiling at him. And I'm like, and he's like kind of like but like softly, and he's like softly smiling at her. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I think it's just like, vulnerability, talking about stuff, and then, he kind of lays it out for her, and she's kind of looking at him like, yep,
And he's
this
like,
is
you're
true.
useless.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, I don't know. Maybe it's like, you're right. I am useless. But yes, you shouldn't be lecturing me because you're the one that got me pregnant. Can't be
Right.
you can't be mature enough to use condoms. So
Right.
there's
And so then
that.
he says, whoever the father of the child is, you're the mother. And there's no mistake about that. Be strong, all right? And that was actually a really sweet thing of him to say.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
After being a fucking cunt face. Jeez. So now he's like holding her hand. They're like gazing at each other and she's crying. And then the doorbell rings and it goes ding dong. And they're holding hands. And then Takumi's like, finally, they're here. And now Hachi looks like petrified again.
Mm-hmm.
And like sees her and Nobu like holding hands walking down the street. She's in bed. And Takumi looks at Nobu and he's like, you took some time. I thought you'd flee. But he doesn't look mean. He looks kind of compassionate. And see, like, his emotions versus his words are like throwing me off so hard.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right? And he's like, oh, you're alone. Where's Nana? And Nobu's like, I don't know where she is. He's like, ah, I hope she hasn't gone to see Ren again. That girl will never learn. And so then he takes the bag from Nobu and he's like, oh, did you find grapefruit? And then he's like, what? And it's soaked garlic in soy sauce. Well, because he was bringing her garlic for her summer fatigue.
Right?
Because it's like
Like,
an immune system booster, but like
mm-hmm.
it's totally a different thing. And so he's like, you're really not responsible. All right, I'm going to buy some myself. And also, since it's the kind of story that we can calmly discuss between 3 people.
Well,
I mean, he does need to like Nobu does need to, but I'm mad at Nana here, but I also can't blame her.
Yeah,
Takumi emotionally battered her, okay?
true.
With a
Mm.
blender, like eggs.
Like the freaking egg.
like
It's back.
making the fluffy stuff for Meringue. He turned her into
Oh,
Meringue.
yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's why her muscles don't work. It's because they're meringue.
They're meringue muscles.
Meringue muscles. And so Takumi's like, it's up to Nana to choose. She doesn't need two fathers for her child. Takumi, you literally just took all of her choices away.
Right?
Like, you're not telling her that she has a choice. You haven't told her once that she has a choice. So Nobu
True.
walks in, and he walks over to the bed, and there's a blam, because he kind of runs.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like turned over and like hiding her face, and he's like leaning and kneeling on the bed. And he's like, Nana, is it true that you're pregnant? And she's hiding her face. And so like he's ignoring her. So he goes on the other side of her, like the way that she's laying. And he's like, tell me, I want to hear it from your own mouth. It could be my child. You have no reason to hide it from me. What's more, I knew that you had just broken up with Takumi. And she's just like, sorry. And she's like crying. Like she's crying hard. And he like pulls her hands away from her face and sees her crying. And then he's like got empty eyes again of shock. And she puts her hands back. And he says, why are you apologizing? And then she rolls over the other way. And he says, you hadn't broken up with him? And she like looks shocked. He looks shocked. She's crying more. He looks really sad. Now he's crying and he's like leaning against the wall. Also, I didn't know she had windows over there. I got changed to Sim's house. Okay. So now he's like kneeling into his knees and he's like, explain to me, I beg you, even if you lie to me, I'll believe what you tell me. And she's crying and she just says sorry. And now he's like gripping the bed with his head down. And it says, never let go of that hand you're holding. Even on those trembling fingers, there's neither red thread nor promise ring. And we have a scene change. So like, yeah, I feel like Nana should not have run away, because out of everybody, Hatchi needs Nana. Nana needs to storm in there and kick the boys out.
Yeah.
Like, that's what should be happening.
What do you think she would do, like, after she kicked him out? Should she just be like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, like, take care of her, let her stop crying, coddle her like a friend should, and then just be like, tomorrow morning we'll talk about it. Right?
Yeah, that might be best. Like,
But
need
they
to
don't
go to sleep.
communicate. Nobody communicates, right? Which is like very much a 20-year-old thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Nana should not be running away. She should be running to Hatchi and kicking both Takumi and Nobu out.
Like, wait in the hall.
No, like, go the fuck home.
That too.
Like, go home. It's not like, and for Takumi to be like, it's her choice, not even in front of her. He never once told her it's her choice.
Yeah.
He told Nobu it's her choice.
Right.
He's not giving her a choice.
No.
Instead, he batters her like meringue.
He batters her like, no, it's true. I mean, that is probably what should have happened. The thing that really, I guess, hurts me, like, with this last scene too, is like Hatchi Nana she's crying and she's saying sorry, but she's not saying like anything else. So I can only imagine like Nobu's mind is just freaking reeling.
Doesn't know what sorry is for.
Yeah, exactly.
She is not in the headspace to be talking to either of them.
No, not really. She's distressed. And
where's her choice in this? Where are her feelings in this?
Nowhere to be found. Under the bed with the fun.
And like, Takumi rattled up Nobu. If Nobu wasn't all rattled and it was handled in a healthy way, I could totally see Nobu asking Hatchi, how are you feeling? you know, but he's all rattled. He's being told, like, are you going to step up or not? Step up for what? You just told me 3 seconds ago. Am I not allowed to think?
No thinking,
Well,
only
that's the
choices.
thing, right? Takumi's in a position that he doesn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Nobody else is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not
Leverage.
fair. That's not fair.
No, it's not.
Fair.
And it's just,
We have a scene change, though. Oh, go on.
yeah.
Yes. What were you
No,
thinking?
no, it's just, it's weird when you like can kind of hear a character's thought process
Mm-hmm.
when you're just like, you're saying sorry, but you're not saying anything else. So he's over here going, wait a minute, did you break up with him? Wait a minute, were you still like seeing Takumi and you didn't tell me?
Right,
Like,
but like that's what Nobu's thinking about right now.
yeah, exactly. And that's not even it. She's just like, no, I'm sorry for, dragging you into this mess. I'm
She's
sorry for
sorry
getting
that she's
pregnant.
pregnant.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sorry.
it.
Exactly.
She's
Yeah.
sorry that she can't be with Nobu.
Mm-hmm.
She's sorry that she's hurting Nobu.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what the other logistics are about it.
It sucks.
She's just genuinely sorry
Mm-hmm.
that she's hurting Nobu.
Yeah. Yep. But he doesn't
Because
know
the
that that's
thing
what that
is
means.
like, even if, you know, like in a long-term scenario, maybe, you know, Takumi does provide everything that's Hachi's stupid dreams, right? But that's
Mm-hmm.
also because like Hachi, she doesn't care as much about the love factor. I don't think that she ever really saw herself having that part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
Nobu is that part of it,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's that balance to it. And I think that she did want that once she realized what it was,
Yeah.
and that somebody doesn't have to be shitty to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really the difference is Nobu, they might be both a wreck and living in fantasy worlds, but like Nobu thinks that she's like just this precious thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of her quirks and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to take care of him. He doesn't see her as, oh, she'll take care of me. She'll take care of all of that stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing, right? And so like I don't know, I think that her feelings for Nobu are like that genuine puppy love.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the only love like truly like that she's will ever have.
Yeah. I think so.
Because she didn't have it with Shoji.
No.
Their relationship was fucking weird too.
Yep.
Like Nobu's the most normal relationship that a 20-year-old has. If you're lucky.
Yep. If you're extremely lucky.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky, you get a Nobu. And Nobus
Mm-hmm.
usually don't last forever because they don't grow up, but doesn't mean they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
They're not like safe.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
safe.
she actually felt safe with Nobu.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
True. So what you just read was the lyrics
Yes.
that Rira wrote because Shin is reading them, and she snatches the paper out of his hand and she's like, "Don't read it out loud. It's embarrassing." And I'm like, "That's literally me about everything I write." So relatable, Rira. And she's like, "This is so idiotic. Let's hire a ghostwriter." And Shin's like he looks kind of shocked, like, "Oh, you took it out of my
In
hand."
mine it says I'll hire a slave.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What kind of slave?
But
What do
like
you mean?
hiring a slave.
Oh goodness.
Interesting. I don't know how that works, but go on.
I don't know. But Shin's giggling, like he's laughing, genuinely laughing. And now they're like, getting on the bed together in the bathrobes, which I hate, but it's okay. Um
Why do you
he's
hate the bathrobes?
Oh, it's the same thing about like way in the beginning when we were reading this because they're terry cloth, and when you get into the bed with them, not only are they hot, but you can get tangled up
Oh,
in all the things, and
yeah.
that just bothers me.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
fine to lounge in a bathrobe.
yeah, lounge is fine. Go to bed in it? No, no. Abort mission.
Right, exactly.
So he's looking like a little kid, is Shin, and he's like, hey, what do you mean by string? And she's like, huh? You don't get it? And now there's like all the hearts around her. And she's like, it's the invisible string that binds you to your fated partner. It's on your little finger. And Shin goes, it sounds like some kind of girly thing. I bet Hachi's into it, he thinks. And Rira's like, but I don't really believe in fate. I think people are bound by trust, no matter what the relationship. And then Shin's like, oh, so that's the hand you hold? And then Rira flops back on the pillows and she's like, maybe I'm just anti-fate because I don't have a boyfriend. And Shin is smiling and he's like, it's a good song. And she says, thanks. You really made me feel better, Shin. I have to be in top form to sell 1,000,000 records again. And he smiles at her very sweetly. And then there's the thinking narration, and it's just a picture of like the skyline, and it says, hey, Hachi, I wanted to keep you chained to me, even if I had to put a collar on you. I was afraid of myself, so I always kept a little distance between us. And then it's a shot of Hachi's bed, and she's not in it. And it says, I still can't make friends very easily. I'm still scared. And that's the end of the chapter.
That's the end.
Yes.
Do-do-do. Yeah, this
So,
isn't even like the part that makes me mad yet.
is it not? Okay.
Nope.
That must be coming up later.
Yep, very soon.
Okay.
We have a lot of comments this week, by the way.
Oh, I'm ready.
We have a lot of comments. I haven't read them yet. The first person is Armin Arlert. Armin Arlert. I can't it's all in caps. I can't handle this pain anymore. Nana, stop taking Nobu for granted, damn it. Get rid of Takumi, please. I'm not okay, y'all.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the shit show.
Yep.
The next comment is she considered there were she considered they were broken up. See, that's the thing. Is Hachi did consider them broken up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Takumi did not.
Mm-hmm.
Because she really didn't break up.
No, she just said goodbye.
Right, but she did consider them broken up. She said, I never want to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, fair. I don't know. But so it says she considered they were broken up, but he thought she was mad. But what I don't get, let's see. But what I don't get is she didn't sleep with Takumi after she was with Nobu. But baby could still be Takumi's. Yeah, the timeline. You don't know the timeline? And I think that Nana said scared about having a baby and finding another guy that's not the dad. Yeah, the timeline, honey. There hasn't been a lot of time.
Right? Like, seems like a lot of time, but it's actually been not that long.
It's been a month.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like 6 weeks, right? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's 6 weeks pregnant.
Mm-hmm. So the next person is like, I don't get it. She broke up with Takumi, right? So then somebody responded, she thought she did, but Takumi didn't think it was a breakup. He thought that she was just mad at him. She was just mad at him. And then the next person says, I also thought that she broke up with Takumi. I'm a bit confused right now.
Oh, so apparently everybody else is like just saying goodbye over the phone means it's over,
It's
ma'am.
totally normal.
This is normal. You
This
said
was
good.
also a time when, like, cell phones are still relatively new.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next commenter says the fact that he told her to lie even if she had to. Nobu is such a great guy. He didn't deserve this. That's true. Oh God, we have our favorite troll.
Oh no.
But yeah, no, it's true.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
really
our
is.
favorite troll, Hachiko.
Mm-hmm.
It says with these capital mid opinions you have, you should never comment again because Nobu deserves this. He's mid. Nana and Hachi are better. And then they say they have another one. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. No one gives a fuck about him. Hachi is literally suffering both physically and mentally, and you feel bad for someone who isn't even the dad. Now, okay, our favorite troll,
Mm-hmm.
I can get behind that part.
Which part of it?
The Hachi suffering.
Oh,
Hachi is suffering, and everybody's focused on the dudes.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
But also
But
like be like like you're not allowed to comment again because you like
right,
Nobu.
no,
Like
that's a separate sentence.
yeah, like sir, this is a Dairy Queen. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. And so then they say, I wish Nobu died.
Wow.
Y'all, Nobu dick suckers need to be humbled. He's no better than Takumi. Oh, and
Okay,
then here's Angie, the person who battles our favorite troll. Oh man.
get in it, Angie.
Ah. And so they say, not you being so extra with saying Nobu is mid when Hachi is worse than Nobu, hands down. You're the vagina writer. Going hard for her when she's literally so pathetic in the chapter and could have prevented so much from the beginning. Give me a break with your entitled little shut the fuck up self. Big gangster behind the screen. You are below mid. People can have their own opinions, you wacko. But you're delusional for commenting mid. Oh my god, Nobu is mid. Every other chapter, when you see someone commenting about him, feel the need to repeat yourself over and over and over again, as if any of us care. What a real life clown slash troll.
Dang, it's getting really
Oh
spicy in
my
here.
god. And then Ash also commented to Hachiko and was like, girl, you hating on Nobu in every single chapter. Shut the fuck up. oh, oh man. Thanks, Angie. Thanks for that. So now Ash comments and says, for those confused, it's obviously Takumi's, as they never had safe sex, and her and Nobu always had safe sex. Hachi probably knew this, and that's why she said nothing. Not only could she make Nobu give up his dreams for a kid that isn't his, but she also needed Takumi to care for them since he can afford it. See? There we
Mm.
go. A voice of fucking reason. She realized she would have to grow love for Takumi, and that he better understood her rather than a man who acts like a boy and dreams and idolizes women. Nobu could never understand her emptiness or darkness like Takumi could. Those parts are true.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good job, Ash.
Now, as to the, people like saying, it might be Nobu's. I remember like distinctly when I read this like all the years ago. And the kind of holding out the hope, even though Nobu's like, I did use condoms, like the idea that people used to say all the time to us, and they still do to this day, that like condoms are not 100% foolproof. or, like double wrapping it or whatever it is, So there's always this weird, like, but it could be his because condoms are not 100% foolproof. And maybe that's a little bit where the
Not
wishing it
proof
was
when
coming
there's a
from.
hole in them or when they get lost in your vagina.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's kind of like one of those things that it's like obvious it could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. But statistically, Takumi said he does not use condoms, and Nobu said he did. So it's pretty much like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's a
Well,
thing.
and
But
then there's also the timing.
yeah, exactly.
There's
But
also
I
the
was,
timing of it.
yeah, but I was thinking about that. Just like, I think that's another reason why people hold out that hope that it could be Nobu's because they're like, but like, not super. They say it's only like, this percentage of foolproof. So, you know, that could be part of it too, why everyone's like, but it could be his kid.
Right.
Just a thought.
I mean, yeah, there's like that, but I think it's more wishful thinking.
That too. I mean, it's totally 100% wishful. It's all that. But these are the things you play in your mind to try to convince, I don't know, yourself and
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
It could be is.
Right. Yeah. No, but I think that it's just a silly notion to think that it's no booze.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
even believe there's a theory, honestly.
yeah. He's got Takumi's eyes. Just saying.
Just
Like,
say it, but like also the timing
mm-hmm. The
and just the
timeline.
fact that one was protected sex and one wasn't. Like
Yeah,
it's really not an argument, you know?
yeah. It's pretty cut and dry.
Right? It's pretty clear what's going on here.
Yeah.
Um,
Unlike Hachi's breakup.
right.
So,
Yeah, unlike Hachi breaking up with Takumi. Well, and like the thing is like we also have to remember even if Hachi isn't really given a choice,
mm-hmm.
she just chooses the baby. She doesn't choose necessarily Takumi.
True.
She chooses the baby. Takumi is there to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and that's, which we haven't even gotten there yet, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's already read it if they're listening. So like, it's important to note that. But like as it stands right now, nobody's asking her what she wants. And that's the bigger problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're all focused on what they want.
Yep.
Every single one of them.
Everyone's being selfish right now.
Yeah, and Hachi's not,
Mm-mm.
which is weird.
Right. The one time.
The one time that she needs to be.
Yeah.
So we have Painkiller commenting. And it says, I mean, if it were me, I'd be yelling and crying like crazy when Takumi was on the phone saying, the dude came in without permission. Because as Hachi didn't say anything, Nana and Nobu misunderstood. What's more, she could tell Nobu that she told him to never call back and that they haven't seen each other since then because it's not like she feels anything towards Takumi, right? However, I know very well the feeling of your body and brain freezing because of fear or distress, and you cannot do or say anything. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Nana's word had some influence on Hachi. So now she thinks it would be bad to give birth to your lover's kid or something like that. Because I don't know, Hachi doesn't seem to feel like having an abortion. What to do indeed. Good job, Painkiller.
Yeah.
Their comments are usually pretty legit though and thoughtful.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
unlike our favorite troll. So someone responded to them and says, and the fact that she didn't explain anything to Nobu either, it's so frustrating because most of this is due to miscommunication.
Exactly.
Yep. And we're going to keep seeing it too.
Yep.
Taylor says, I like Hachi, but people really have to stop acting like she's always innocent. She's extremely irresponsible and immature. We know, but she's 20. How old are you, Taylor?
14. I'm
Right?
just guessing. I'm just guessing.
I understand she's a victim in a certain situation, and some stuff is out of her control, but a lot of stuff could be prevented. had she been responsible or took time to communicate. You must be new here. You must be brand new. Brand new. I mean, the comment was 3 months ago, so you must be new.
Oh, yeah, very new. Hello.
Hi, welcome. Let us know how your heart feels on the floor. So
Right? Oh, it hurts. It
right,
hurts.
it hurts. Uh, Traveler Xandra says I'm crying. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
I'm crying,
mean, the first of many.
right? The next commenter says, listening to astronomy on repeat and reading this hurts, dude.
Oh, wait, what?
I know, and I'm like, astronomy, is that a band?
Is it a yeah, is it a band?
Now
Or
I'm looking
is
it up.
okay, I'm like, is it a band
Or
or
is it a song? Because
is
if
it a
you're listening to it on
song?
repeat,
Yeah?
it's a song by Canon Gray. It came out May 7th, 2021. And this comment was 2
Okay.
years ago. So like it's highly probable that that's what they mean. So I opened it. So I'm gonna listen to it later and I will report back.
Okay. Also, ooh, you know what? Send me the link in the Nana talk because I want to listen to it too.
Yeah.
Just just curious. So we can both have feelings about this.
Ch- Who knows? Okay, so let's
Ah.
see. Next commenter. I think that's in Portuguese.
Oh, our Portuguese have returned.
Let's see if I can translate. Translate. It's a short one, but I'm like, I don't want to know about Jesus loving her again. I really don't.
Oh no, I forgot that was one of them.
Yeah, it is.
Jesus loves you, Hachi.
Let's see.
Incorrect. The demon lord loves her more.
In English. Poor thing, Hachi.
I mean,
Let's,
true.
yeah. Okay, fair. Valid.
Poor unfortunate Hachi.
Right.
In pain.
In-
In need.
oh no. So we have two more comments. This one's kind of a long one, and then we have a little short one. It says, okay, personally, I feel bad for Nana, although she's the one who got herself into this mess. But whether she deserves it or not, I can't tell. However, I feel really bad for Nobu because I don't get it. What does she mean by this sorry? Didn't she
Mm.
break it off with Takumi? In a shit way, sure. In a way, she was a loser and not to not confront him clearly. I mean, Nobu did the right thing by telling her to stop whatever she had with Takumi before getting together. Frankly, getting an abortion would solve this. Also, telling her to lie and that he will believe her. Holy shit, he's caring and awesome. Nana needs to pull herself together.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but also like to your point, like there's not enough time. It's like a lot has happened. Like found out she's pregnant, trying to
This has
figure
only been
out
like an hour, maybe.
right, right? Like, okay,
Maybe.
found out I'm pregnant. I'm eating like the little nougat thingies and still vomiting, not really quite knowing like, okay, what am I doing? And then Takumi shows up and
Right.
then
Hasn't it been like 2 days where she's been able to like process,
yeah,
if
yeah.
that? And then like it's been an hour since Takumi's been there?
Mm-hmm.
Holy.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, there's yes, pull herself together, but like Kirsten's right, guys. It's not enough time. She's and
It's
obviously
not
they're
enough time.
taking her, yeah, and the choices, of course, of just like,
Nobody's
you,
caring about how she's feeling at all.
like, don't have the baby. Yes, have the
Takumi
baby.
cares more about how the baby is than her right now.
Yeah, no, but it isn't this kind of. I mean, I don't know.
Patriarchal?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how Japanese people feel about like you're only 6 weeks pregnant, therefore is baby, therefore is human. I don't know.
I would say that it's the same as anywhere else. That some people are going to have more radical ideas about it than others.
That makes sense.
You know, it's even like it literally like the series starts off with Nana and like talks about her being on birth control.
Mm-hmm.
It's bound to come up.
Right.
Right? And so it's about, you know, they're opposites.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that is an opposite opinion.
That is true.
The last comment says, okay, but the fact that she didn't tell Nobu she broke up with Takumi is dumb. Literally no reason for this. She did break up with Takumi.
And she did tell him. She said, I did break things off
Right?
with
You're
him.
confused.
Yeah, it's fine, child.
It's totally fine that you're confused.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. You just keep reading.
Right? Or reread it again. Just
Try again.
try again.
Join a forum. Actually, there aren't any good forums anymore.
That's sad.
These comments are the best thing I found. All the forums are based on like the anime.
Not quite the same.
No, it's not at all the same.
No. So we get so much more.
I know.
But anyway, that's it, guys. So find us on Instagram, apartment707_, and we got the link tree with all of the stuff.
All the stuff is on the link tree. You can go do that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah, that sounds.
So I gotta work in the morning and my legs still hurt.
Oh, no.
Because I've been walking 17,000 steps a day.
That's nice. That's a lot of steps.
That's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps. But yeah, okay. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us in this very sad adventure. I'm gonna be mad. I don't know if it's the next chapter or the chapter after. I think it's the chapter after. But get ready.
Kirsten's anger is loading. Please wait.
It's loading. It's loading. No, Takumi pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
excited to see which part that is.
It's yucky. Okay. Well, anyway, I love you. I love you all. I love you all. I'm still sleepy. Goodbye forever.
Goodbye forever.